Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's look is a Lion King inspired look. It was so much fun to create and I really enjoyed doing it. I've seen the live action remake and I highly recommend that you guys go out and see that because it is very good. So let's get into this tutorial. So I already did my brows off camera. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a nice base for my eyeshadow. And to do that, I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Warm Honey. And to apply that, I'm just blending that out all over my eye with a concealer brush. Next, I'm going to go on top of that base with NYX's Jumbo Eye Pencil in the color Milk. And this is just to brighten that base up a little more, that way our eyeshadows can really pop. And I'm blending that out with the same concealer brush. Okay, now I'm moving on to eyeshadow. The first color I'm taking is coming from the Spice palette from Lick and Lash Beauty. The color I'm using here is called Garnet, and I'm just using a large fluffy blending brush and blending that into my crease using patting motions, and I'm trying to kind of keep the shape of the eyeshadow rounded, if that makes sense. Next, I'm taking a smaller blending brush and I'm just going to take it to the outer edges of that red that I just placed down, and that is going to soften up any harsh lines. Next, I'm going to take the Zulu palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm taking that orange eyeshadow from the palette, and with that same small blending brush, I'm going to blend that into the edges of the red to create a nice transition. With looks like these, guys, blending is the key, so just take your time and blend, blend, blend. Okay, so here comes the part that takes the most concentration for me, and that is cutting that crease. So to cut my crease, I'm using another Pro Concealer by LA Girl. This time I'm using the color Porcelain because it's the closest to white that I could get. And you'll want that bright base in order for your next colors to show up nice and bright. My number one tip for cutting a crease is to cut it right above where your eyes naturally crease. This will prevent product transfer and it will ensure you have a nice clean cut crease. Next, I'm going to take that Milk eyeshadow pencil from NYX again, and I'm going to just go over that concealer only because it wasn't as bright as I wanted it to be. This is just going to brighten it up a little bit more for me to place my next colors down. Now I'm getting into my lid colors. The first thing I'm going to do to get that shadowy effect to our sunset, I'm taking that same red from the Lick and Lash Spice palette, and on a small eyeshadow brush, I'm going to place that right at my lash line and blending it out just a bit. After that, I'm going to go into that Spice palette again, and with a small pencil brush, I'm taking the color Rocky, and I'm going to blend that right into my lash line. And make sure to blend this well and just go back and forth between this dark color and the red, and just blend until the two colors transition nicely into one another. And now for the star of the show, this gorgeous yellow pigment. This is a pigment from the company J. La Rue Cosmetics, and the color is called Lemon Drop. So I'm just taking this pigment on a very flat eyeshadow brush and filling in the rest of the space on my lid, and I'm making sure to keep that as close to that cut crease line as possible so we can keep that cut crease nice, clean, and sharp. After that, I'm gonna go back in with that orange eyeshadow that we picked up from the Zulu palette. And with that pencil brush, I'm going to blend it into the top of that red that we placed on our lid. Okay, now moving on to the face for now. I'm going to start out by moisturizing my skin. I'm using a aloe vera gel as a moisturizer because I am very oily. and this gel is more water-based, so I won't get too greasy, but my skin will still be hydrated under my makeup. Next, I'm gonna take some skin illuminating drops from LA Colors. This shade is called It's Lit, and I'm just dropping this onto my face and blending it in with a flat top foundation brush. And what these drops will do is just give me a nice glow to peek through my foundation. Moving on to foundation, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation in the shade 338 Spicy Brown. And with that flat top foundation brush from before, I'm applying and blending it into my skin. Next, I'm going into highlight with my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Warm Honey. And I place that under my eyes, on my chin, the center of my forehead, and down the center of my nose. Okay, now I'm blending that concealer out, and I'm not sure what specific purpose this brush has, but this is the brush that I always use to blend out my concealer, and it always works out very nicely for me. Okay, so I'm taking a little bit more of that concealer on a small fluffy blending brush, and I'm just going to blend a little more product right underneath my eyes to brighten them up a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm moving on to contour, and I'm going to contour with this beauty supply store brand foundation stick called the Magic Collection. The color I'm using is called Macchiato, and make sure that when you're contouring, you contour along the outer edges of your highlights, and just be sure to blend it out nicely so there are no harsh lines visible. Okay, now I'm going to move into setting my highlight. I'm going to go in with the LA Girl Pro Face HD Matte Powder in the color Soft Honey. And I'm just going to be setting all the highlighted parts of my face. Okay, now I'm going to be setting my entire face with the L'Oreal True Match powder in the color N7 Classic Tan. I'm setting everything with this powder, even my contour, and to me this just softens up that contour to make it look a little bit more natural, and this powder also helps to tone down our highlighted areas. Now moving into my bronzer, I'm going to bronze my face up a bit just to add a bit of warmth back into my skin. I am using the Black Radiance Pressed Powder in Beautiful Bronze, and I'm placing that at the tops of my cheekbones and around the perimeters of my forehead. So for blush, I'm actually going to be using a eyeshadow from the Juvia's Place, the Warrior 2 palette. And the color I'm using is that peachy color called Dora. So for my cheekbone highlight, I'm first taking Eclipse from the Anastasia Aurora Glow Kit. And adding to that, I'm going to be using my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighter in the color Trophy White. So I'm going to also add that Trophy White to my brow bone for my brow bone highlight, and I'm also taking that highlight to the inner corners of my eyes as well. Okay, so now for a few finishing touches on my eyes. I'm going to line my bottom waterline with a gel liner from e.l.f. Cosmetics. And to do that, I'm just going to be using a small eyeliner brush. I'm going to blend that out with Rocky from that Spice palette. And under that, I'm blending Garnet from that same palette. Okay, moving on to some lashes. I can't remember off the top of my head what style or brand these lashes are, but they are Minx, and if I do remember, I will place the name below in the video description. Okay, so somehow I lost the clip of me applying my lipstick, but the lipstick I use is from MAC, and it's called Velvet Teddy, and it's one of their matte lipsticks, and I just lined that with a dark brown liner from Wet n Wild to kind of give my lips that ombre effect. Okay, loves, that completes this tutorial. I am so in love with how this eyeshadow look turned out. It ended up literally looking like a sunset, and to me it's just so mesmerizing to look at. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye guys.